Prince Andrew branded an embarrassment, but still has an extraordinary role. Prince Andrew keeps getting in and out of trouble, but one thing that doesn't change is that he remains a Counsellor of State. That means if for some reason King Charles is not able to carry out his duties, Andrew could step in for him. Daily Mail's Richard Eden mentioned the disconnect during an episode of Palace Confidential and how it may call for some reshuffling. Eden said, Andrew has been seen as such an embarrassment that he can't go anywhere near the royal family. But at the same time, he does still have some important roles. He is still a Counsellor of State. He added, now, obviously we know, they aren't going to use him in a hurry, but having that legal role is extraordinary. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. According to Eden, this needs to be rectified and it wouldn't be that hard. It would simply require Charles to send a memo to Parliament asking that Andrew be removed as Counsellor of State. But some things are easier said than done. While it may be just some words on a piece of paper, to Eden, it may be more to Charles, as Andrew is his brother. Eden did take that into account when he said, you can love someone and be all like, oh, he's my brother. But one is work, one is family. Charles doesn't want hassle in his life and it's best to let sleeping dogs lie, said royal expert Andrew Loney. Prince Andrew torn to shreds by woman who claims she is missing millions from Duke of York. Prince Andrew has been torn to shreds by a woman who claims she is missing millions from the Duke of York. A French socialite voiced her fury at Prince Andrew after he mysteriously found finances to stay at Royal Lodge, after King Charles told him that he would have to downsize to Frogmore Cottage earlier this year. Isabel de Rouva claimed that she lost more than £3 million to Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson in a dispute over the sale of a luxury ski chalet. She told the Mail on Sunday, I am missing millions as a result of this man. She added, I reduced what he owed me because they told me he did not have the money. I was left with little choice. They were apparently so poor before they had to pay me. And now they are so rich. Prince Andrew has relied on funding from King Charles since he stepped down from royal life after his infamous Newsnight interview in 2019, but has now found alternative financing. However, this week it was confirmed by the Keeper of the Privy Purse, Sir Michael Stevens, that the money the Duke of York will use to stay at Royal Lodge comes from legitimate sources. Despite not officially being working royals, Andrew and his former wife Sarah Ferguson still reside at Royal Lodge on the Windsor estate, fueling a feud between the Duke and King Charles. The former home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Frogmore Cottage, was suggested as a suitable replacement after Andrew lost his right to taxpayer-funded security after being stripped of his royal duties. Royal biographer Robert Hardman revealed that his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, suggested evicting the prince, and she would have done so if she had lived another year. Government politicians have also demanded to know the Duke's sources of funding. Leeds MP Alex Sobel said, full disclosure of these funding arrangements is vital to uphold the reputation of the royal family. Prince Andrew booted out of Royal Lodge because he didn't take care of the estate. Royal biographer Angela Levin has claimed that Prince Andrew is to be booted out of his home because he is not looking after the building. Speaking to GB News, Levin described Royal Lodge as in a terrible state. The comments come as King Charles is claimed to have cut off Prince Andrew's annual £1 million allowance and withdrawn funding for his private security. Sources claim the decision was made after Andrew refused to vacate the 30-room Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park, where he resides with ex-wife Sarah Ferguson. Speaking to Nana Acua, Levin said, King Charles did say to Andrew that on the 1st of November he's not going to give him £1 million a month to help him keep going and he's not paying 7 figures for all the protection officers for him. He's got to be on his own because he's not working royal and also he's not looking after the building. He lives in a huge mansion with his ex-wife, and it's got 30 bedrooms and it's in a terrible state. Andrew took no notice, absolutely no notice. They have never got on really. And it's happened now. So we'll have to see what he will do. He has got a bit of money from the late Queen, his mother. But we will see. She added, Catherine and William don't want it. His girls don't want it. He doesn't want it. Camilla doesn't want it. So I don't know what they're going to do with it. But they're certainly going to do something. It will need quite a lot of rebuilding. The Duke, who signed a 75-year lease on the property in 2003, is now facing pressure to downsize to the smaller Frogmore cottage. Andrew's refusal to leave Royal Lodge has become a point of contention. The property requires an estimated £503,000 annually for upkeep. Despite pressure to relocate to Frogmore Cottage, the former home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Andrew has dug his heels in, as described by broadcaster Helena Chard. Royal expert Michael Cole told GB News that the security contract termination is a real problem for Andrew, given the expense of maintaining such a large property. Prince Andrew's royal return halted before it gets off the ground as he'd fail vetting process. Prince Andrew was linked with a shock royal return this week as it was pointed out he could be the perfect person to act as a helicopter pilot for his brother, King Charles. The Scottish Express told how the monarch was on the lookout for an experienced flyer to join his chopper team known as the King's Helicopter Flight, TKHF. The Duke of York flew helicopters with distinction during the Falklands War and is said to retain a fascination with flying, spending hours at his Royal Lodge home tracking the takeoff and arrival of planes. Based at Odiham in Hampshire, the job carries a competitive salary with benefits handy for Andrew, who has become strapped for cash in recent years as he tries to pay for the upkeep of his home. But it has now been pointed out Andrew would likely fail the vetting procedure if he did shock everyone by handing in his CV. According to the Daily Mail, the Palace HR team states, "We will contact your professional, and sometimes personal, referees. We'll also undertake background checks in order to process your security clearance. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.